Hello, crafting friends. I'm Dorene Decibus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and welcome to Fun Fold Friday. I just got home, so I feel like I've been racing around, but I think I'm ready. I think I have everything set to go. Just want to make sure my camera's all set, and all right. So it looks like we are a go, and you can see everything. I've got so much on my desk. So I wanted to start tonight with a little bit of show and tell. This is a card that I received in the mail from my friend Evelyn. She follows me on my YouTube channel. And a couple weeks ago, I made the card with the dinosaur. And it was an accordion pop-up fold. Well, she made me a Valentine's card. So let me just hold it up closer so you can see all the details on it. We have some beautiful vintage background paper. This rose is cut out so that this cupid, which is embossed, can slip right in, which is just a really nice detail on the card. And then we have a banner that says "You Make My Heart Spin." We've got a little glittery heart here and the little cupid. And when you open it up, we have that accordion fun fold. And so we've got 4 hearts inside this card. We've got that beautiful designer series paper again. We've got a piece of textured paper down here that with the love that has been embossed as well. So let me see now. My phone is asking me to do stuff. So you've got this just gorgeous, gorgeous card. And I just love it, so I wanted to share it with all of you. I love getting handmade cards in the mail, and I think if any of you love to make your cards, you love to get those handmade cards too. So I just wanted to share this one because I really fell in love with it afterwards. So 2 weeks ago, hello Lynn, thanks for joining me tonight. So 2 weeks ago, I made a standing card. And tonight I'm going to make another standing card. So this is what the card looks like folded up. And when you open it, it pops right up so that it can stand. So this is what it looks like from the top, looking down, kind of like that bird's eye view. And let me just take a sip of water, excuse me. This card and is using 2 stamp sets. So here, if I turn it this way, this is what the front of the card looks like. There is a greeting, as you saw, Happy Valentine's Day. This is actually the card I made for my husband. And then on the other side is the back of the card. So you get lots of hugs and kisses with some hearts. And then if I turn the card sideways, so you can see the mechanism and how it's put together. This uses a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock. When to fold it close, you're just going to push in those 2 sides at the top, and this becomes a 4 1/4 by a 5 1/2 card that will fit in a standard envelope. And then it just wants to stand right back up when you open it. You might have to just play with it a little bit to get it to stand perfectly, but this is definitely a card that you want to display. So we are using tonight a celebration set that I have been dying to demonstrate for you. It is Pick a Season. It makes this gorgeous tree, which I'll show you as I'm stamping it. And it has a place to put, like we would put where the fruit would be. But you have shamrocks, hearts, flowers, Easter eggs, leaves, you name it. You've got a little fence, you've got some grass, you've got a cloud, you've got 2 different tree trunks, and then of course you've got all the leaves. But notice it doesn't have a sentiment. And since I wanted to do a Valentine's Day card, I'm using the Happy Valentine's Day from Hugs for Love. And I'm using the lots of hugs and kisses. And then I'm going to use the little hearts from that stamp set. Okay, so let me show you what I am using tonight. So I'm using Cherry Cobbler cardstock. So you need 2 pieces. You need one that measures, like I said, 4 1/4 by 11, and then you need another piece that measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. We are going to be scoring this and putting this together, but we're actually going to do our stamping first. Then you are going to need, I'm using the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. So you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 1 1/2 by 4. And you'll need 2 pieces that measure 3/4 by 4. Now, when I found this online, the person who I, watched their video to learn how to make this card did not put the Designer Series paper on the bottom, but I have to say I really like a finished card, so that's why I have the extra Designer Series paper. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of basic white cardstock that measure 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece that measures 1 inch by 2 inch. Okay, we're going to get our stamping done first. I'm going to bring out my foam mat since I'm stamping with photopolymer stamps, and it's a brand new set. And I always find when I'm using it, when it's first out of the package, that I like to use the foam pad with it. So here we go. I am going to start. Now, the first thing I just want to mention is that this is going to go into the card, this bottom of this piece of cardstock. So I am going to stamp above and leave the bottom empty so that it's just plain paper that's being hidden. So I'm going to start by stamping my greenery, and I'm using Old Olive ink. I want to get that in place first, and then I can add my tree trunk to it. So I'm going to really ink this up so it's nice and full of the Old Olive ink, and then I am going to bring this almost to the top and give it a good press. There we go. Looks beautiful. Okay, we're done with that stamp. We're not quite done with the Old Olive, but I always close my ink pads because I don't really want to make a big mistake. So next I'm going to take out the Early Espresso ink. It's a really nice brown, and I'm going to use this for my tree trunk. And I'm going to want my tree trunk to go right up towards these 2 bottom leaves here. There we go. Got a really nice trunk there. Now I'm going to get my Old Olive out because I want to add some grass to my tree. This is obviously not New Hampshire for Valentine's Day. I'm thinking I'm somewhere nice and warm. What about you? So it has this little bit of grass, and so I am going to just stamp around the tree trunk and add a bit of grass. Just kind of fill it in like that. Hold it up so you can see that part. All right, now I'm going to stamp my hearts. And I am going to stamp my hearts using Cherry Cobbler. So these hearts are just going to go in these openings. To fill in the tree. And then I thought it would be kind of fun to have some hearts that have fallen out of the tree. So that's what this part of our card looks like. just so cute. I'm going to just put my red pad there for 1 second. I'm going to add some adhesive on the back. We don't need that. There we go. And I'm going to take the piece of cherry cobbler, the one that measured 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to mount this right on. Well, let's do it straight. That was an epic fail. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, you don't have to put anything on the back of it, but like I said, I really like a finished card, and I really want there to be a greeting. So I am going to add lots of hugs and kisses, and I'm going to put it not quite as high as I put my leaves, but it's still going to be pretty high up. And you can certainly write on this card after you have put it together, but if you're going to write on this, I would suggest that maybe you write your message. It would be easier before the whole card's together. So that's just a piece of advice. So there's what the greeting looks like. And then we're going to put this on the back. There we go. Okay, so this piece is done. I'm just going to set it aside. And we have one more piece to do, and that's our overall greeting for the front that just says Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to stamp that as well with the cherry cobbler. I'm going to stamp it over on the left-hand side of my tag. Whoops, I forgot to add the little hearts. I'm going to add some little hearts to it as well. Just can't have too many hearts on Valentine's Day. Though, oh my goodness, my 5th graders, they have discovered each other. And boy, it was a Valentine's Day full of flowers and like huge boxes of chocolate. They don't usually start that this early in the year, but it was on full display today. All right, so I just cut a little bit of the banner off, and then I just made a little flag by cutting those pieces off. I am going to actually add some of the little bit of bling on this. Again, it's just easier to do it all before the card is put together. And then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. There we go. So I'm going to put that aside with the flap we've already stamped. Okay, now we're ready to just take care of this piece. And it does have a lot of scoring. So I'm going to take out my scoreboard, and I'm going to put my piece of paper in the 11-inch direction. And I am going to be scoring this at, and remember, I'm going to put all of this in either the if you're watching on Facebook, in the comments, or it will be in my description on YouTube. So I'm going to start and score at 1 inch, then 2 3/4 inches, then 3 3/4 inches, and then 5 1/2 inches, at 7 1/4 inches, 8 1/4 inches, and 10 inches. So again, that is 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, 5 1/2, 7 1/4, 8 1/4, and 10 inches. Now the next thing I have to do is cut a slit in this so that we can fit that middle panel. So I am going to line up this 5 1/2 inch score line right in the track on my paper cutter. And if you notice right here where mine is white, I have taken a piece of the tear and tape and I have put it on the inside so that my measurements really show nicely. So I am going to be taking this and I'm going to be lining it up to the 3/4 inch mark, and I am going to be cutting from 3/4 of an inch to 3 1/2 inches. There we go. That's all we need the paper cutter for. Before I go on and do anything else, I just want to make sure that this piece here is going to fit. We want it to be tight, but I want to make sure that I cut it correctly, so that's going to slide right in like that. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Now what I'm going to do is put my designer series paper on, and I think I had matched, maybe not. Nope. Thought I had some, oh, here we go. I want my matched ones on the top. These I don't think match at all. Oh, they do. So these will go like this, and then these pieces are going to go right here. So let's get those all attached. On the bottom, they're just going to be on the bottom to create that really nice finished look. It's okay if they don't match up with anything. The small pieces are going to be in the front and the back, and these are the two that are going to be side by side when the card is standing. So I'm just using Stampin' Seal as I put these pieces of the Timeless Plaid. They have some of the cherry cobbler in them, and I thought this just gave it a subtle look instead of having something super bright with hearts and all that stuff on it. And we're going to do one more little thing before we start folding everything on the score lines. This card comes together really easily once you get that scoring done. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use tear and tape on this card to hold it together. And the reason I'm doing that is because this really needs to stick together, and I don't want it to accidentally fall apart. So I'm just going to put a piece at the top and the bottom near the score line and near the edge on both sides. We're going to be folding everything in the same direction, so we don't have to worry that we've got things facing the way they need to face, because they will, just like this. All right, so now I'm going to just use my bone folder to burnish those edges. Remember, anytime you're doing a fun fold, you really want to get those nice creases with your bone folder. Like I said, we're folding all in the same direction because the card is just going to fold up on itself. And here's the last one. Okay, so just to give you an idea, we're going to be folding this in so that these two pieces are going to come together in the middle. So we have like the double rectangles. Okay, so now to put it together, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to slide it in. It doesn't really matter which is the front of the card or the back because both sides are the same. And I am going to fold this up right like this. I'm going to bring that card back in and I'm going to take off the sticky tape. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back in. And as I fold this down, I want to bring this piece right up to the fold mark. So let me press it down so you can see. So it's right up to the fold mark, right here. And I've pressed that down. So that is going to form our first rectangle, and you can see how the pop-up just pops right up naturally. So now I'm going to take these two pieces off, there we go. And this is just going to fold right in so that those two edges line up. And then I'm just going to adjust it a little bit, move that fold, and there we have it. That's how easy it is to make this card. So when you first make it, it just needs that little bit of an adjustment, and it is a great card to display. And again, when you're ready to fold it up, you're just going to push those pieces in, and it's going to fold right up like that. So it folds up really, really easy. All right, let's just finish it off. Now I could add a ribbon to this if I wanted. I could, I've already added a little bit of bling, but if I wanted to tie something around that panel, I could do that as well. So this card has a lot of endless possibilities, and it is not very difficult to put together. So just use the video to help you with that. And so here is what the front looks like. Here's what it looks like when it's standing. Here are those two rectangles that are formed on the side. Here's the back side. And then here it's standing again. So that is this week's Fun Fold. A lot of fun, isn't it? And it just folds like that. I love this card, and I am so happy I got to share this stamp set. When I saw this card, I thought, oh my goodness, this is like the perfect card for this fold, the perfect stamp set. So thank you. So it would be neat with the wildflower birthday suite. I'll have to try that. I don't have the stamp set, but I have the paper, and they have so many cutouts that I think I wouldn't even need I could use a different stamp set. I will try that, Lynn, and if I get a chance to do it this weekend, I'll show it Sunday night for Simply Stamping Sunday. So that is it for me tonight. If you are in the track for this storm that's coming, stay safe, stay warm. We're supposed to get colder air next week, and this storm is bringing everything with it. So thank you again for joining me. I will be back next Friday with another fun fold. I'm actually I've already got an idea what I want to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I will see you Sunday night for Simply Stamping Sunday. So have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.